Okay, so here I go back with another video on the PS3 that I found at the pawn shop. This thing is absolutely immaculate. It looks like, honestly, it looks perfect. It's in pretty much perfect condition. But we're going to go ahead and cut it on here and check it out on the TV and see what we got. So, let's see, where is the controller? So it came with a red controller, this one here, which is also very nice looking and really good condition visually, but unfortunately it seems as though the battery on the controller is completely dead. I have a charging stand for my PS3 controllers, and I left this plugged up for about an hour, and it didn't get any juice. But when plugged up to the PS3, it still works wired. This is one of the reasons why I really prefer controllers with removable batteries. In comparison, I have a bunch of Xbox 360 controllers that I also have that I recently, got. I recently got the Xbox 360 from a pawn shop as well. But these controllers, like, I had 360 controllers before. They were kind of beat up, so I had to like go in and work on them in order to get them working a lot better. The D-pad wasn't working on this one, so I had to go in and clean off the actual pad underneath in order to get the D-pad working. But everything works perfectly fine, and I replaced the sticks because the thumbsticks had they had ripped the rubber came off or whatever. But the one thing I didn't have to worry about was the battery, because Xbox 360's controllers all have removable batteries. They just use like a standard how do you say, they all just use standard AA batteries. And the bonus with that is you can just find some AA batteries and you're good to go. Whereas in this case, in order for me to get a new battery for that PS3 controller, I'm going to have to like find one on eBay and then open it up and, I have to like literally unscrew it, open it up, and take the battery out and replace it. Much bigger headache. Another thing that's really great about Xbox 360 controllers is when it comes to the battery packs, like you can still find battery packs today that you can just put in a 360 controller and you're off to the races. Like this is like a cheapo battery pack that I found for like $17 on Amazon. It came with two and the charger all together for 17. So, good to go. And like this is all retro tech. This is like a third party, like kind of like remake deal of the original 360 battery packs. But you can find this like today. But finding a new-ish or kind of new DualShock 3 controller online, yeah, forget about it. So when your battery's dead inside your DualShock 3, hopefully you can, like, I don't know, I haven't looked it up yet. Hopefully I can find some DualShock 3 batteries, because obviously they're a more proprietary battery. So I gotta try to hope that I can find some on eBay or something like that, and then I'll be able to unscrew this controller, open it up, and put the battery in. A little fun fact, something that I didn't even initially know, but apparently that's exactly what Sony expected you to do all the way back in 2006. Like if you read the manual for a PS3, it actually says in the manual how to replace the battery in the controller. It's just like, what? Sony? Hi, there's little things called battery doors. You just open it up and the battery comes out. Like, why did they actually, like, the design was to actually like have you open the controller up, unscrew it, and take the battery off. And it's not like impossible, right? It's not super hard. The triggers are kind of annoying when you unscrew this, like the way they're placed, but I mean you can get the shell off and the battery's just like right there, and you unclip it and you're good to go. But come on, tell the average end user to do that versus just like popping open the battery compartment on the back of the controller. Like, come on, it would have been so much simpler. But I digress. Let's power up the PlayStation 3 and see what we got. So So I already went ahead and made a profile on here for myself. There actually was already someone else's profile on here. I guess they decided they didn't wipe their PS3 completely. So those other users are here, but I don't use those. They did have some games on here already though, which was interesting. House of the Dead 4 is mine. I installed that. But yeah, the rest of these, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Umbrella Chronicles, some hamster game, like all these were already pre-installed on here, and then all the original Resident Evils. I actually have all these games in my catalog on my slim PS3, all downloaded and installed on my system. I'm not entirely sure how it works with when it comes to downloads. Like I was trying to download some other games from my PS3 onto this one, but it kept telling me that it couldn't download them or something like that. It kept giving me some kind of error. The only game I could get to download was House of the Dead 4. So, whatever. But I'm assuming that has something to do with like licensing on the PS3. I'm not entirely sure. I know you have to activate your PS3 in order for it to be able to play, licensed games or whatever. But I'm not. I don't think you can activate more than one system, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done all that. But anyway, so what I've got here is I've got 3 games: a PS1 game, the all-important PS2 game, and a PS3 game. And I figure I would put each one in there and test it out to see how it goes. So my PS1 game is my original copy of Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raider on the PlayStation 1. So this is one of my favorite PS1 games. The disc is in pretty good condition. Not perfect, but pretty good. I have to say I'm very impressed with 7-year-old me and his ability to not destroy things. Good job. So let's put that in there, and we'll see. Zoom out a little bit, and we'll see if it recognizes that disc. Alright, and it recognizes a PlayStation format disc. Now, the thing about this is, right, all PS3s are able to play original PlayStation games. Even the slim ones, right? Sony never removed original PlayStation backwards compatibility because it does it straight through software emulation, and it's very easy for the PlayStation 3 to emulate the original PS1. So this is something that the PS3 does with no issue. So any PS3 you got will be able to play original PS1 games. And this is, wow, nostalgia factor 10. So original Tomb Raider with a demo for Tomb Raider 2 and Fighting Force, another awesome PS1 game. So that's great. That works like it should, no problem. Here comes the juicy part. So yeah, here comes the juicy part. We'll take that disc out of there. Got the nice little just touch sensitive eject button. It's funny because I could have sworn I remember it beeping whenever you would touch it, but so far mine hasn't done that. I don't know if that's something that I just dreamt up in my head or what. But so here is SmackDown. Here comes the pain on the PlayStation 2. This is a PS2 game. So this is obviously going to be this is obviously going to be like the real test, right? To play PS2 games. Another game that's in pretty good condition. And again, thank you to my younger self. So we'll take that and put that in there. And let's see what we have. What do we have? Okay, so yeah, it says PlayStation 2 format disc. Awesome. And let's see here. So it's reading that it's a PS2 game, which is rather fantastic. And there you go. So we've got a PlayStation 2 game running on this PlayStation 3. Now, the way in which this works, the PS3, well, the original 60 gigabyte Phat PS3, which this is, it didn't just emulate PS2 games. It actually like has PS2 hardware in there. Specifically, I think it was the Motion Engine CPU for the PS2. I don't believe it has the PS2's GPU though, so it is emulating that technically. But I mean, it does have that PS2 hardware in there in order to allow it to actually play these games natively, pretty much. So it has like the whole library is compatible. There may be a few games, like a handful of games that are supposed to have issues, but for the most part, they all work. And we can see here, this is definitely working and working well. So I kind of want to just kind of go through. I just want to gotta go through and like start up a match just to see how well that goes. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite games when I was a kid. Like, I enjoyed the heck out of this. So let's see here. Here comes the pain. Exit mission. Oh wow. I guess the bonus here is I don't have to worry about any licensed music because it's just a generic song. So I'll turn that down a bit. Let's see, so you've got like The Rock, Roddy Piper, Rodney Mack, oh lord, Sable, Scott Steiner, Shawn Michaels, Shelton Benjamin, Stacy Keibler, oh boy, Stephanie McMahon, Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Steven Richards, Tajiri, Test, Tori Wilson, Triple H, The Game, Trish Stratus, The Ultimate Dragon, The Undertaker. Let's just start up a match here. Brock Lesnar. See how this is gonna go. Like I said, this is a really incredible find. Got this out of a pawn shop. It's in just near perfect condition. Ooh, that's some copyrighted music probably. Skip. We'll skip the intros. Before I get a, I don't know, copyright claim from WWE or something. Skip that one. Stealing your opponent's finishing move. Awesome. Awesome. But yeah, so this is like a really good find, honestly. Like, it's just amazing how well this works. I'm playing this with one hand. That's literally how good I am on SmackDown. One-handed play. Oh no, he's got me. I can't reverse. Oh wow, that German suplex was legit. Belly to belly suplex. That's some Brock Lesnar right there. Oh, that's the wrong button there. But anyway, so it's working. That's, really good. So yep. So we've got ourselves the PS2 game. So the PS1 game, the PS2 game. Perfect. Working. Great. It's amazing that I got this. Like, I've been seeing this whole, like, was it DK Oldies drama that everybody's been talking about on YouTube. DK Oldies, if you don't know, they're like a retro gaming store, like, online. And they sell retro consoles and stuff like that, but apparently people are complaining their prices are too high. And to top it off, not only are the prices really high, they claim that every console they have in their lineup is refurbished or whatever, but and cleaned, but that's turning out to not be the case. They're literally just like selling used consoles for exorbitant prices, which, I mean, that sucks. So I've seen, like, I saw Jacob R's PS3 video, and he bought a backwards compatible PS3 from them for comparison, right? And he paid what $400 for his backwards compatible PS3, and from a cleanliness standpoint, it was absolutely atrocious. Like, the thing looked like I don't know. It looked like a freaking bomb went off on the inside of it. Like it had so much dust all over it, and it was scratched to hell. But obviously, like the PS3 is hard to, like it's not something that you're gonna see unscathed normally because it's really hard because it has that glossy plastic. It's hard to keep that pristine. But on the inside, where they should have refurbished it, it was a mess. Like it was so dusty. The thermal paste had been like all gone. Like, and he paid $400 for that. I paid $100 for this, $100 even, out of a pawn shop. And like I said, it's in pretty much perfect condition. So the last game up is Resident Evil 6. Look, as a huge Resident Evil fan, all the people that shit on RE6, I don't know what you're talking about. This game is fantastic. Like, I have been a Resident Evil fan since day one, and Resident Evil 6 is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it's ridiculous, but so is, like, literally all the Resident Evils. There's talk of it not being scary, but, I mean, for me, none of them are, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I played all the... I played all the Resident Evils as a kid, and they were never scary. Like, I mean, it's the same as. But yeah, like Resident Evil 6 is absolutely fantastic, and it looks to be recognizing that with no issue. So we're gonna go ahead and start that up. The one fatal flaw for every PS3 is you have to install every game. So who knows how long this is gonna take. But yeah, as you can tell though, it looks like it's working perfectly fine. So we tested a PS1 game, a PS2 game, and now here we are on a PS3 game, and it seems to be no problem, no issues whatsoever. So yeah, this is the PlayStation 3, fully backwards compatible from a pawn shop, which, I mean, that's incredible, right? Like, it's absolutely incredible find. Only $100. Yeah, it's crazy that I found this kind of like. It's crazy that I found this in the midst of all this DK Oldies drama, because like I found this in such a good price, and the whole DK Oldies thing, like they have backwards compatible PS3s on their site, but they sell them for way more than $100, and they're probably nowhere near as clean as this thing. So yeah, just wanted to kind of like make this little video. Take it easy.